Morning out there, everybody. Welcome to another weather forecast discussion out there. In this video, we will be talking about an active tropical weather in the eastern Pacific here, and also the Gulf of Mexico starting to heat up as well as here the severe weather here the next couple of days, and a major mammoth heat wave set to return across portions of the central plains as well as the central U.S. as a whole as we head towards the middle and end of this month. Again, guys, if you have not subscribed to the YouTube channel, definitely encourage you guys to do so. A lot of great weather content coming up here this week, so definitely hit that subscribe button down below and also like the video at the end of the video as well. Now, welcome back, everybody. Great Tuesday morning out there to you guys. We are looking here at a satellite imagery here of major Hurricane Darby out there in the eastern Pacific. A very healthy looking system here pushing westward very quickly here, and we are seeing here a lot of kind of arm action off this hurricane, as we call it, kind of the breathing of the hurricane here. You can see some arms coming off the hurricane on the western edge and also the eastern edge here. Very healthy hurricane, very strong eye wall here over the open waters of the eastern Pacific, and this looks to stay at major hurricane status all the way through the wee hours of the morning here on your Wednesday, and then kind of remain at hurricane status, at least category 1 or stronger, all the way through the wee hours of the morning here on your Thursday this week, before starting to encounter some colder waters, some cooler waters here in towards the Hawaiian Islands, and then it'll start to weaken here towards a depression here as well. We are starting to get a little bit more concerned about the eastern Hawaiian Islands. However, don't sound the panic button quite yet. We'll definitely have to keep an eye on this. But right now here, maybe a depression as it gets closer to the Hawaiian Islands. But yeah, I will keep you posted here as we get a little bit closer to that time frame. Also behind Hurricane Darby, we definitely have a 70% chance here in the next 5 days of more tropical entities starting to become a thing here in the eastern Pacific, right off the southwestern Mexican coast. And off the western portions here of the Central Americas, we're definitely seeing another wave coming across portions here of the eastern Pacific, moving west and then more west-northwestward here in the next 5 days. And again, the next 5 days, we could be seeing another tropical system start to develop across this area right on the heels of Hurricane Darby. You can see this here, Hurricane Darby, kind of zooming out here in the satellite imagery, spinning across here portions of the eastern Pacific, back here into portions of the eastern Pacific closer to the Mexican and also the Central America coast. We definitely can watch here for another open wave of more convection, more thunderstorm activity starting to organize, and that's kind of the next system here that has a likely chance, a 70% chance to become here a tropical entity. Whether it's a tropical depression, a tropical storm, or even another hurricane has yet to be determined, but definitely something to watch in the next few days. Moving over here to the Gulf of Mexico, we do still have that 30% chance here of a tropical system developing in the northern Gulf of Mexico, off here the Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, and even the Florida coast here, somewhere in the northern Gulf. We're definitely going to have to watch this over the next few days. You're looking at the satellite imagery here of the Gulf of Mexico. You can see just some kind of lower topped convection across most of the Gulf of Mexico here, and especially on the northern end. We're going to continue to watch this here as it tries to organize more. Still not seeing a lot of organization, pretty kind of, sheared out at this point. Not seeing a lot of, convection really kind of, around a center of low pressure at this point. But we do have kind of a low pressure system trying to develop across the northern Gulf, but we'll just have to watch this again. It's kind of sheared out right now, so that is something we'll watch here over the course of the next few days. Looking though, however, at the Gulf of Mexico sea surface temperatures, you can see here in the yellows and reds, we're seeing here about 30 to even 32 degrees Celsius here for the water temperatures, and that kind of converts to temperatures by Fahrenheit here into the 80s. So well into the 80s here are the water temperatures, especially in the northern Gulf and the northeastern Gulf here. So off the Florida coast, off the Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama coast, yeah, we're seeing a lot of those warm sea surface temperatures in the 80s out there. So any of these systems that can start to organize in this environment definitely can be conducive to rapid intensification, so we'll have to watch that as well. Looking kind of at the model forecast for rainfall, as this will have a lot of tropical moisture with it. Off the Gulf of Mexico here, a lot of precipitable water with this. This is the European forecast model. You can see kind of in the last couple runs have been shifting the heaviest rain offshore here just into the northern Gulf. Still seeing some heavy rainfall anomalies here pushing into portions of the New Orleans area, and then still into southern and portions of central, Mississippi, Alabama, into Georgia. But the heaviest rainfall has been trending southward here in the European run. And the same thing has been true here even for the GFS. It's kind of trended lower with the rainfall amounts here. and also kind of trended a little farther south once again. Still, still have some heavy, downpours here with the GFS's run across portions of Georgia, southern and central portions again of Mississippi, Alabama, but again has largely been shifting farther south. However, the UK Met model still here at the 0Z run, still showing some bullish values into portions of central, southern Mississippi, southwestern Alabama there, the northwest Florida Panhandle, and parts of the Louisiana as well. So still want to continue to watch this here, as there's still differences in the models of what could happen here over the next several days. So I will, get you more information here as I get it, as well as we will keep you updated here on this in the coming days. But looking here at the temperatures this afternoon, pick your spot on the map. Yeah, you have a lot of heat out there across the west coast here, from the Rockies all the way down to Texas here, widespread lower 100s here from the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex all the way up here towards Wichita Falls, down here to the West Texas, as well as the desert Southwest here, the Phoenix area approaching 112, Southern California there in the 110 range. So yeah, a lot of heat out west here on your Tuesday. And we do got a cold front pushing southward across portions of the spine of the Appalachians down into the Tennessee Valley. And you can see that here on the map. You've got that cold front here moving down through portions of the Ohio Valley, getting into the Northeast, and ahead of this boundary, that's where we can see some of that severe weather as we head through the day today as well. You have that slight risk of severe weather here from Maine all the way down through Vermont, New Hampshire, New York State there, northern New Jersey, portions of Massachusetts, Connecticut, all the way down towards the Washington, D.C. area, Charleston, West Virginia, northern portions of Virginia, getting into eastern Kentucky. All these areas are in that slight risk zone as we head here into the afternoon today. Even that marginal risk kind of extending down towards Music City there in Nashville, Tennessee as well. Couple more areas here of a marginal risk across northeastern Minnesota, getting down into northern Wisconsin, so Duluth area, getting down towards Eau Claire, portions of Wisconsin Rapids, and then areas here into portions of the Front Range of the Rockies here, getting into portions of far western Nebraska, southeastern Wyoming, and northeastern Colorado as well. Kind of more of an isolated kind of nuisance severe weather risk across those areas here this afternoon. Watching that 2% tornado risk across portions of the interior New England, definitely have to watch that from Maine all the way down to Maryland here in the eastern Pennsylvania areas. Definitely could be talking about an isolated tornado or two with some of these storms, along with that large hail and damaging wind risk. Again, the wind risk here about 15% in the slight risk zone, those 5% risk zones for that damaging wind threat. That is more of the marginal type of wind, 50 to 60 miles per hour. And here even the large hail kind of a little less here, even across the Northeast on here your Tuesday today. So timing this out on the composite reflectivity, you got some scattered showers and storms popping up here across portions of New York State, maybe a couple of those here in portions of the middle Ohio Valley, back into southern portions, of Indiana, southwestern Ohio. This is here in the morning hours today, but as we kind of move in towards the midday hours and into the afternoon, we'll start to build all the instability up here in the wake of some of these showers and storms ongoing in the morning hours, building up that instability here in the gray. We're not going to have a lot of instability in this area, but we definitely will have a lot of wind shear, as you can see here, especially across the New England portion of this region. You kind of overlapping some of that instability. We definitely could have some scattered showers and storms that could become severe across these areas that I was showing you as well through the afternoon and evening. Looking at this a little bit further, using the HRRR model, we got some scattered showers and storms popping up around portions here of West Virginia, getting up into Pennsylvania, New York State, getting up into the Vermont, New Hampshire region during the mid-afternoon hours today. And this will really start to increase a little bit more in coverage as we head towards that 4, 5, even 6 o'clock hour here this evening. And then this will really start to take more of its kind of peak coverage time frame as we get towards the very late afternoon, around the dinner time frame, into the early evening hours here, all the way from Middle Tennessee near the Music City there in Nashville, all the way up into portions of eastern Kentucky, West Virginia, Maryland near the Washington, D.C. area, getting up towards New York City there and Boston here as well. And then I'll kind of fizzle out as we kind of lose the daytime heating with the sun setting into the evening. But looking at the rainfall amounts, we could be talking about rainfall here of 1 inch to 1.5 inches in some of these areas if you get under a very nice downpour with some of these storms. Not everybody will see the storms, but where you do see the storms, you definitely could have some heavy rainfall in addition to that severe threat. So that is what we'll have to be watching out for later on today. As we move here into your Wednesday, you can see all that heat out there continuing to expand across portions of the plains, continuing to expand across the western United States, all the way up even into portions of southern and central portions there of Saskatchewan, southern Alberta, yeah, definitely even into portions of southern Canada. Middle to even upper 80s cannot be ruled out here even for your Wednesday afternoon tomorrow. As we move into the afternoon, we kind of have a stalled out frontal boundary across the southern and southeastern U.S., bringing all that unsettled weather here across those areas. And along and ahead of that boundary, yeah, we could have maybe a marginal area of some severe weather from the Carolinas all the way down into central Georgia, near the Atlanta area, getting back, like I said, into the Carolinas here, Columbia, South Carolina, the Myrtle Beach area, getting up into the outer banks of North Carolina, and then kind of moving its way down towards southeastern Alabama during that period on your Wednesday as well. Again, no tornadoes here can be really expected on your Wednesday. I think it's going to be more of a damaging wind and large hail event, if anything else. But looking at the rainfall amounts on your Wednesday, again, if you get under a heavy downpour, yeah, you could expect some, torrential rainfall, maybe an inch and a half here of rainfall coming down with some of those storms on your Wednesday afternoon and evening. And then looking ahead even to your Thursday, look at all that heat expanding across the middle of the country, that heat wave really taking hold with that large high pressure system, that large ridge, as we call it, across the middle of the United States. And that will really build northward once again here into portions of the Dakotas, getting up into Montana here, even Wyoming with temperatures in the middle 90s all the way up towards the Canadian border. So that is something to watch here for your Thursday. The Climate Prediction Center starts to agree here. We do have, the 6 to 10 day temperature outlook going from that July 17th through the July 21st timeframe. And yeah, we're seeing likely above average temperatures in a large, area across the northern and central U.S. here, especially kind of centered on the Dakotas, getting down through Nebraska here into portions of Minnesota, the eastern portions there of Wyoming and, Montana as well. But really largely as a whole for the U.S. here, in exception to the Pacific Northwest, some of those monsoonal areas here, as well as the southeast with some of that unsettled rainfall. Yeah, we could be talking about a lot of heat as we get towards that third week in July and even beyond. It has a lot of staying power here, the July 19th through the 25th time period. Yeah, we definitely could be talking about some, long-lived heat here with a long-lived heat wave across the middle of the country here as we head towards that 25th time frame here in July. And as we kind of close out July and go in towards August, yeah, I expect this heat to continue in these areas as well. Looking kind of at the upper kind of atmosphere, kind of from the top down here, yeah, you definitely can see that very strong ridge kind of centered across the Four Corners region, getting across the central and southern plains there. This is kind of on your Friday, the 15th here this coming week. And then even as we head in towards Sunday, late in the weekend, yeah, that ridge really doesn't move too much, kind of centered on portions of the Rockies all the way down into the central southern plains still, kind of maybe even amplifying a little farther to the north. As I mentioned before, we got that squeeze effect. We got a little bit of a subtle trough across the Pacific Northwest. We got a little subtle trough here into southeastern Canada, northern New England. And yeah, but between those areas, we definitely could be talking about kind of a squeeze effect here where the ridge doesn't have anywhere to go but northward. It can't go west, it can't go east, so it's got to go northward. And yeah, all that heat could be expanding again into southern Canada, if not here, portions of central Canada as we head into next week as well. And like I said, that just continues as we head towards the early portion and middle portion of next week. Also here, we got to definitely watch the northern and northeastern periphery of all this heat. When you got a large heat, and a large ridge across portions of the southwest United States, you always got to wonder about the jet stream and all those kind of ripples of energy in the jet stream. And yeah, we could have one of those starting here on your Friday, so we'll definitely have to watch that. Kind of watching a little piece of energy coming off here, the northern plains, getting into portions here of the upper Midwest, and then diving southeast here across portions of the Great Lakes as we head in towards the early portion of the weekend. And with that jet stream kind of centered across the upper Midwest, like I said, even into Saturday, yeah, you definitely could watch some of those ripples of energy pushing across in the the atmosphere at that point as well. And you can see that here on the vorticity signature here as we get into later in the afternoon here on your Friday this coming week. The GFS model, showing some brighter colors here across portions of the western Great Lakes up into portions of the upper Midwest, and that does indicate maybe some thunderstorm activity as we head into that time frame as well. And that just kind of continues through at least the first half of your Saturday across some of those areas across the western Great Lakes, and then getting into the Ohio Valley as well. And then we got to kind of watch. All that instability will start building what we call CAPE, or the convective available potential energy. Some of that strong CAPE might be building across southern Manitoba, getting down into the eastern Dakotas, parts of Minnesota, all the way down here into portions of the Missouri Valley, into Iowa, western Illinois, into portions of the Ozarks. And right along that gradient where you don't see instability here, no colors here on the on this map here in the Great Lakes, where you see the stronger colors here to the west, right on that gradient in between those is where we kind of like these, the storm complexes like to move from northwest to southeast. So that is kind of the favored zone right now into portions here of eastern Minnesota, western Wisconsin, getting down through eastern Iowa and northern Illinois. We really got to watch this here as we head towards Friday evening. Again, this is kind of the rendition here of the GFS's kind of accumulated 24-hour precipitation signature. You can see kind of some rainfall potential across those areas I was mentioning right along the instability gradient here as we head into later on Friday into early Saturday, and that just continues here a little bit farther north and east here with the GEM model, which actually means that this ridge might be a little stronger, so it might push that storm track a little farther to the northeast. But nonetheless, the signature is there. We're seeing a little bit of consistency within the models across this zone from eastern Minnesota through Wisconsin and northern Illinois here, maybe in portions of eastern Iowa, Indiana. So we'll definitely have to watch this here as we head towards late in the week, and I'll definitely continue to refine it for you guys as we definitely get closer to that period. And as we're kind of seeing all of this heat building, all the instability building potentially across this area, we still got to worry about that progressive derecho pattern here as we kind of look at the outer edge of this heat wave. The climatology does favor this very area for, the bullseye across northern Illinois, southern Wisconsin, northern Indiana, and getting into the Ohio Valley. We definitely got to watch for the potential of a derecho. The pattern could become, conducive to one as we get towards portions here of the late July period. So that will be something to watch here in the coming weeks and days ahead. And again, looking at July as a whole, that area is very favorable in July as a whole, from eastern Dakotas into Minnesota, Wisconsin, northern Illinois, and then getting down through Indiana and Ohio and the Ohio Valley during that July period here for progressive derecho. So again, if it's climatologically favored in that area, we kind of hone in and we kind of see, okay, what's the pattern that we need to look at here that could be, conducive to one of these things, and then we kind of look at it from there. So that is something to watch here. I'll keep you posted here and updates with this as we get a little bit closer. I thank everybody for watching my video today. Do be sure to like the video below. Give me a thumbs up. Definitely leave any comments, questions here below. I'll be able to answer any of those as well. And remember, again, to subscribe to the YouTube channel here, trying to get to 300 subscribers, and it'd be very much appreciated if you do help out. Again, I will be going live later today covering that severe weather threat across the Northeast and New England. So definitely turn on all notifications for that, and tune in for that as well later this afternoon or early this evening. Thank you, everybody, and have a great Tuesday.